at least speaking from the US point of view, and again, borrowing from what we've learned from aviation, we do eventually need an FAVA, literally a Federal Autonomous Vehicle Administration. So internationally, to complement the FAA, the Aviation Administration, you've got the IACO and the IATA. And we need a similar thing for AVs, right? And here's why, right? So today, we don't even have such basic guidelines and standardizations for things like how to define anything, the design, the technology, whether LiDAR, computer vision, or what have you, safety issues, privacy issues with respect to over-the-air updates, security generally, how to deploy these things, how to test them, traffic issues, taxes issues. And this really matters a lot because, okay, here's another aviation example. So when Airbus first deployed, and indeed when they were first testing their first aircraft, commercial aircraft, the Airbus A300, it was the first civil aircraft to use fly-by-wire, which was a military technology. And well, nobody knew whether it was sufficiently safe. There were no guidelines. It's sort of like today, nobody knows whether computer vision is good enough, like say LiDAR. There's no set standards. I mean, we have standards even for things like how far your headlights go. Well, in the absence of standards, finally, the powers that be said, well, look, let's just see if your Airbus is at least as safe as Boeing. Okay, well, that's certainly not a bad way to go, I suppose. You've got some status quo, which is Boeing. Let's go with that. But the point is, we don't have any of those. And I'm just sort of randomly tossing a bunch around for now, because there's a lot of issues here. You can ask questions later if you like. Take traffic and taxes. Autonomous future presupposes that you have three components, right? You've got autonomous vehicles that are electric and that are shared. You cannot have just two of those three components. Everything will break down, it'll just fail. And so then you start asking yourself the question, well, how do you make this work? Well, okay, one way is taxes, I suppose. Have an occupancy tax. Don't let autonomous cars drive around empty, right? And there is precedent for this. London has congestion charges. In the US, we have carpool lanes, which require that you have at least 1 or 2 passengers per car. So there's a lot of great precedent for all this stuff. We're not reinventing the wheel here. Terrible pun, but you get my point.